We're just gonna sit here like this. It's a lot. Most of them are just new books. Well, not fully new books. Squirrel, chipmunk, whatever the heck that is out there. Making all sorts of noise. Ooh. I'm waiting for like just to fall over on me. Anyway, I put a video out about this one. But I just love the shiny box. I just realized the back was different. The inside has red maps. Right? I love the artwork in the back though. I want to open. Yeah, they're technically both become kind of main male characters. I'm talking about Azul. I didn't even show the best part. Yep. Ah. Do new. Do not do that. Hold on. We're about to fight with this book here. Maybe. We'll see. And then Walmart came out with a exclusive version that just has sprayed edges. So of course I had to have this too. And it has a little excerpt from the next book, which comes out this coming week. It's called Sky Shade. I get it on Tuesday, I think. So these are two books that I got recently, since the last time I went live, which was like 4 weeks ago. Kevin, how are you not blue on my channel? I do basically get books every week. I mean, so I did fall down the rabbit hole to read Caroline. So I actually got the 3 books. That are out right now from the same author. It is really cute. It's basically like set in a small town. It's supposed to be kind of like a spin-off of Gilmore Girls. Like a small town. It really is, Gina. It is very Hallmarky cheesiness. It's basically this one. She moves to the small town. It's called Dream Harbor, and takes over her aunt's. Trev, how are you not subscribed to my channel? Is what I'd like to know. I'm just asking. And so this one, the shop is called the Pumpkin Spice Cafe in the small town where they live. And the bookstore is called the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore. Because he works, so he can't visit. That would be why. And then this is one that goes after. And it's a Christmas Tree Farm. I haven't read this one. I read these 2. This is the 3rd one. These 2 I've read. This one I liked better than this one. They do. So they do cinnamon buns from the local bakery every Sunday morning. That's the whole thing. Give me comics and cinnamon buns. But it's just like a little, it is kind of Hallmarky. But it's just based in a small town. Everybody knows everybody. This is about a girl that just moves there and a local farmer. Then you've got the bookstore owner, who's also the daughter of the mayor. Oh, good God, Sheena. Slice of life, or is there a mystery to solve? So, like, this one has, like, where there's, like, a smidge of mystery. Like, they're trying to figure out what's creating all the mishaps in the cafe. Like, there's stuff going on, stuff missing, stuff broken, yada, yada, yada. This one, the girl is the manager for the bookstore, and she starts finding books that are, like, defaced, dog-eared, written in, highlighted. So her and the love interest for her go like on this, they call it an adventure. They actually nicknamed it Hands Off, which was kind of funny. I like this one better though. I think she would like this one better. Just saying. Yada 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 to you too, Barry. I know I stopped in your live earlier, Barry, and then I had to jump out because of work. Darn work. Okay, so we'll go over the other books I read this last month. Well, I read this one. I didn't care for it. I didn't. I know that's probably an unpopular opinion. Well, like, it didn't get good until the end. I had to audiobook the last half of it. I'm trying not to say something too bad. I really am. Because it wasn't like an, oh my God, crappy book. It just wasn't what everybody hyped it to be, at least not for me. Because, like, the beginning was okay. I got to probably about chapter 16 and I was like, okay. And then I forced myself to get to chapter like 20. And then yesterday I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna finish it. I'm not gonna DNF it. I'm not gonna do not finish this book. I'm just gonna finish it. So I audiobooked it and I finished it. The last 10 chapters is where it got good. It took that long to get good. It is almost a 400-page book. And it took to page, hold on, let's find it. Till about page 300 to get good. The first 300 pages were not that great. It was good writing. It just didn't feel like it went anywhere. And I have the second book, and I might still read the second book. just to see how the story ends, because I think it's just a duology. I don't think there's supposed to be a third one. I don't think there's supposed to be a third one. I'm sure they do, Barry. I am sure they do. Okay, so some of you might have seen this one. See, I got through the first 2 or 3 books of the Blood and Ash series, and that's where I kind of stalled out on that one. So this one's actually a local Ohio author that I got. I actually had this on Kindle, and then I wanted the physical copy. And I've been it's so funny that you say that, Caroline, because my coworker friend, I mentioned the book to her, and she's like, I'm a petulant princess. So we have on our teams, we have a book chat between the 3 of us. There's 3 of us, and I renamed it the Petulant Princess Book Club. So that's what I changed it to, and then we have a group chat. What do you call it? On my phone too, and I renamed it the Petulant Princess Book Club. So you do you. Be a petulant princess. This book, I literally couldn't put down. It took a minute to get into the world building part of it, but once you did, I finished it. This was a finish in a one-day kind of book, which I absolutely loved. Barry. Yeah, Caroline, if I get into a book, it's a one-day situation. It's not, I don't know how long it is. Hold on. Hello. Just under 300 pages. I'm gonna die. Well, I had it on Kindle though, but in paperback form. It's actually kind of small. Actually, that is kind of small. Now I'm looking at it. But because I bought it off their website, it is signed. I could have got it personally signed, but I did not. Yep. Because I got this book and another one that I'll show you here in a second. Oh, I forgot. Hold on. Hold the phone. We're going to flip this up some. You're going to look at the ceiling for a minute. Ish. I forgot. So I forgot my, oh no, my thing is right here. So I got a couple different things, like she threw in some stuff, but I got the 2 books that are both signed, and then, ouch, I got stickers to go on the back of my Kindle. We're no longer friends, Christina. I want to see. So I just got these. This is actually from her other book, but this is from this book, The Sayings. are from the book. The one saying is, "I'll treat you like a princess when you start acting like one." It's really cute. It's like a long lost princess book where she, I try not to spoil them too much, so I don't want to. And I got this free little 3D egg. Look how cute. Because there's dragons in the other book. Not in this book, but in the other one. But she sent bookmarks, and it gives you how to pronounce all the names. And then on the back, it has a little QR code. And then the character art for the two main characters. Oh. And the map art. So basically, long lost princess has to go back and doesn't want to. That's why she's called the petulant princess. And she fights it pretty hard. She's licking her toes right now. Oh, the little eggs, Trev? I know. I told her I want them all. I'll have to send you a picture of what she 3D printed over the last couple of days. I told her I want it. She has to sell them so she can feed my obsession. And she said I was basically going to pay for her next book, because I went through and I bought the other two for this one. This is her other book, Forcing Fate, and there's two other books that go with it. And this one has dragons, if you can't tell. And I think I put, yeah, this one's signed too. My other ones will be signed. This one I haven't read yet, but I went ahead and bought the other two because I have a feeling I'm going to anyways. But she sent a bookmark for this one too. I got caught by the quote that's on the back of this, and it says, "Keep looking at me like that and we'll end up doing something suspicious." And it just reminds me of that, don't be suspicious. I was gonna read this one after Petulant Princess, and then Sheena, I knew you would say something. I knew you would do something about that one. So honestly, it depends. So like, my two coworker friends and I have a wheel that we, like a wheel decide spin thing that we do, and it's all over the place. We had a lot of dark romance and regular romance in there. But honestly, my fantasy bookshelf is probably the bigger genre that I buy. Although I've gotten into more of, I guess, the romancy type books. I don't know what to, and the thriller suspense. I'm all over the place. I'm not a nonfiction person. Yeah, that's what this is. That's what Petulant Princess is. Well, it's more of like it is fantasy, but it's more like a romance fantasy. I'll have to look into that. I have so many books that I have to read, Trev. It's not even funny. I told the other girls, and I told Sheena that she could join us. It's a nonfiction story of my life. So when I posted the Petulant Princess on Instagram and on here, I follow the author on Instagram, and I tagged her in it, and I did the song "You Don't Own Me." You're not too much for book club, Sheena. Don't worry. Which was like the perfect song for that book ever. I have to move these out of the way. Hold on. I've got so many books right now. I'm getting attacked by things. You are just right for book club. And if Joanna's there, Joanna better agree. So this is another one that's another indie author. I think she's local too. But this one just released not that long ago. And I have not read this one. I'll be honest, I'm not even sure I know what it's about. So it's about, basically, you have it is a pretty cover, a birthmark that decides your fate, basically. Hence the marked by destiny. Like it conveys your destiny, like what, I don't know if it's supposed to be powers or some sort of gift kind of thing. I'm not exactly sure. But this is definitely on my to be read, hopefully before the end of the year. But I have so many other ones that I've got to read. And I think this one just came out a couple months ago. But I just got it in, I think it came out at the beginning of October, and I got it at the end of October. But I'm excited to read that one, and Forcing Fate. And then I think I showed this on Trev's show because I had just gotten it. Apples Dipped in Gold. It's the second one in a fairy tale retelling series by Scarlett St. Clair. And I want her to come out with more. It's super tiny. Super, super tiny. It's another like half a day read. I read the other one, her first one, Mountains Made of Glass, I think was the first one. But it's a fairy tale, like a fairy tale retelling, so it's not like exact fairy tale. She kind of stretched it to what she wanted it to be. And then this cover is like, it's kind of hard to, it's shiny. I have this one, and I actually have, I think, the rest of them coming too. But it's basically a warrior princess type book. So it's going to be interesting. This author also did A Fate Inked in Blood, which is a I want to say a Norse like themed book, kind of. So I still have to read that one. Oh, this one? The cover is beautiful. I think they just redid the covers for these. And that's why I'm just seeing them, because they came up on like my books you might like on Amazon. These are the other two books I got on Amazon. So it is shiny. I love it. I think I know I have the second one at least pre-ordered, and possibly the third one. And I'm trying to remember what books come this week. I know Sky Shade comes this week, and there's one other one that comes this week. But this one is supposed to be, I think, like a mafia type one, but it's like an underworld type deal. So they say it's Hades. We totally could, Gina. So this one I bought because I didn't realize on my Amazon wish list that I had only the second one. I didn't have the first one, which is this one. And so my one book group did a like their monthly gifting kind of thing, like almost like a, not a Secret Santa, but it's just a gifting thing that they do. So my person that I had that was gifting me got me the second one because I didn't have the first one. So of course I had to buy the first one. You can't have the first one without the second one because they all go together. I think it's a 4-book series. But look, they're already sprayed. I didn't even know they came like this. Didn't even know until they got here. Yeah, so it's basically mafia gang type. So I have a feeling it's more like on the dark side. So then my dad's like, oh, I'm going to Walmart. And I was like, oh, I'll go with you. And I knew why I wanted to go. Because I wanted books. Hold on, let me move these. Because I wanted books. I wanted to go to Barnes & Noble, but Barnes & Noble, I get into too much trouble there. Not that I didn't get into too much trouble at Walmart, but that's besides the point. So most of these ones just came out. The other one, like, I mean, came out like kind of this week in stores. So we have this one. And this is gonna be a romance one. But I have another series that she does that I started reading. And this is also the author of From Blood and Ash, Jennifer Armentrout. It's already got periwinkle sprayed edges. I think this is... Oh, and I also have her Covenant series. Oh, there is another book. It's called Scorched. I might have to figure out if I like it. I probably will, let's be honest. And then they re-came out with these ones with the like embossed, and I haven't read these yet, so, but I plan to. For Jennifer Armentrout. The other series that I have that's hers is the Wait For You series. I have 2 of those books. I actually think I have a couple more because my one friend gave them to me. But then I have this one, and then I have the Covenant series, which I haven't read yet, but I have all the books. Mainly because they had sprayed edges. So Have you read this one, Sheena? Well, the whole series, not just this one. Because I have. I don't know what I did with them. They're up there somewhere. Because I bought the whole series. She does have. I wonder if that's the one that I have right here. Bye, Trev. Because I did buy another one that's by her. Which I just realized is actually the third book of this series. So I will have to be looking for the rest of the series. Hold on, I'm looking. Do you remember what the other series was, Sheena? Because she's got the Lux series, the Origin series, the Wicked Trilogy, Flesh and Fire, Blood and Ash, Dark Elements, Harbinger, Covenant, Titan, the Wait for You series, Da Vinci series, Gamble Brothers, Standalone, Young Adult and Standalone, adult titles. But I want to say it's probably this one, the Lux series. But I had to get it. I didn't realize it's the third book, but I had to get it because I've seen it so many times. Just because I love how gorgeous the edges are. I thought it was. So this one I've already read. Makes sense. There's some books that are like that where I'm just like, oh my god. Where they kind of interconnect, but they're not like, I don't know. I actually read this book already. But because they came out with the collector's edition, I had to get it. I had to get it. I had to get them. It makes sense, right? Okay. I mean, look at how cute that is. It is really cute. It's a really not cute book, but it's I hope they come out with the second book like this because I would love the second book to go along with this one. I read the second one too. But I would love the second one to go along with this. And it's like, it's not embossed, it's like almost reversed embossed. Like James thought like it was like one of those covers that had like the cutouts because that's kind of what it feels like. But it feels like a fabric cover. And this isn't, this is just the cover. Like there is no dust jacket on it or anything. And then of course, I had to go get my girl Emily McIntyre's book because I have to finish the rest of the series. I think I have 2 more books. I think I have Wicked and Crossed, or it's not Wicked. What is it? Twisted? I don't know. I think I have like 2 more books to go. But I had to go and get this one. She's a pretty thick one too. Oh, that's what it is. It's Twisted and Crossed. I've read Hooked, Scarred, and Wretched. And there's Twisted and Crossed, and then this one. It's called the Never After series. Hooked was one that was on our wheel spin. And then I know myself, and I think Joanna read, I know I read the first 3. I don't know if she got through the 3rd one. But I love this one. This is the biggest book out of her series too. And I'm gonna tell you a little backstory because hold on, she's got like character profiles in the back. It's like 500 pages. The Vicious Lost Boy series, yeah. I liked Hooked. I liked Hooked. I think I liked Hooked and Scarred. Wretched was a little, it wasn't my favorite. I finished it, but it wasn't my favorite. And I think that's why I stopped, because I was like, okay, I need to move on, read something else. But this author, Emily McIntyre, she wrote this book while going through chemotherapy. And she finished it. Stage 4 breast cancer. She finished it. She basically said this was her present to us. Like, no, you're not. You just didn't like it. It's not everybody's cup of tea. Like, it's okay not to like a book. But so I had to get it. Some of the girls from the book Facebook page group that I'm a part of, she had a signing here in Ohio, and I didn't know about it. They went to her signing at, I don't know where it was at, actually, now that I think about it. But they went to her signing, so that one's still got like grossness on the cover from the sticker. Yeah, they said that she was like super sweet, super nice, like all this stuff. They had nothing but good things to say about it, so people were still trying to get tickets to it. I guess she visited Kentucky, Indiana, and there was one other place, and I can't remember where it was. Maybe Tennessee. That she went into the Barnes and Nobles and like different bookstores and signed all of her books when she was there, like when she stopped in. So it was really nice. I was like, that's so cool. I want to be able to go into a store when they're signing. Like, go to a store when they're signing. Like, I know Alex Astor, the one for Lightlark and Nightbane, I know she's gone into a bunch of stores and signed her books. I can't think of her name now that I'm... Oh, the Hannah Nicole... I have no idea how to say her last name. She did the assistant to the villain and the apprentice to the villain, and I know she went in Targets and stuff and signed all her books. So those are the new ones and the couple that I read. Well, I read a couple. There was other ones. There was one that I read on Kindle that was called Camera Shy. And Sheena, I think you'd like it, honestly. She basically goes and stays at one of her clients' house. Like, she thought her boyfriend of so many years was going to propose to her, and he ended up proposing and then not meaning it. And all this other stuff. Neil. And so she, like, they own a business together. She went and stayed at a client's house to, like, basically house watch his fish, his exotic fish. And the neighbor, she met the neighbor by him coming over to go in the hot tub, and she was skinny dipping in the hot tub. And he's actually a boudoir photographer. So, you know. It was really good. It's called Camera Shy. I don't know if I have it on my Kindle. If I have it on this Kindle, I should say. How do I not? Oh, because I think it was a Kindle Unlimited and I returned it. I also read another Rebecca Yarros book that was Reason to Believe. It was another series that she did. Really good book. I like her romance books. The only one that apparently is getting a movie or something, hi Robin, is in the likely, I don't know what it's called. That book got DNF'd. You do, but I'm not getting up to get it. So I did get Lights Out on audiobook, Sheena. I mean, I said Neil, so I did acknowledge you. And that was my way of saying hi. And no, I'm not getting up to get it. You can see it right there, see? It's just so far away. It's too far away. It's all the way over there. Going back to books. So we spun the wheel today. It's not Toy Story. We spun the wheel today. And this is going to be the book that we read. I'm feeling okay. I still have a cough that doesn't go away, but it's not frequent. Frida McFadden? Yes, it is. I love Frida McFadden. I still have to read. That's kind of why I want to go to Barnes & Noble, because I want to see if they have her other books, like her older books. Because a lot of times Barnes & Noble keeps a lot of books around from popular authors, so that's why I really want to go to Barnes & Noble. But I still have to read this one. Surprised Joanna hasn't yelled at me for not reading it yet. We're just gonna smell books. This one actually smells really good. But I think it's less than 300 pages. Yeah, it's just under 300 pages. But this one's basically about newlyweds who go searching for the house of their dreams, and then they think they found it, they visit it. Like a storm traps them at the house, and the woman finds audio transcripts of a psychiatrist or psychologist. Psychiatrist finds the audio transcripts for the psychiatrist, and she learns about a chain of events that led up to the doctor's mysterious disappearance. So that's what this one's about. And that's just all from the back. I didn't spoil anything. You can get that all from the back. FYI, because I haven't read it yet. But she has this one. She has a bunch of different ones. I've read all but that one. The Coworker, The Teacher, The Inmate, The Perfect Son, the Housemaid series, One by One, The Locked Door. Actually, I'm gonna leave this one out. Her books are crazy. Like, you never know what's coming. Like, you think that you know who it was, and you don't. Like, it's almost like a game of Clue. Like, that's how I describe her books. Like, that's how I should describe her books. It's like a game of Clue. Have fun at work. I forget that you work later in the day. But it's almost like a game of Clue. Because you think it could be so-and-so in the library with the candlestick, but it's actually so-and-so with the rope in, like, the foyer. Like, I mean... So, it just, hers are crazy. I think Joanna, my coworker, friend, I think she's read whatever she could get on Kindle. I don't know which ones, I don't know if there's any she hasn't read. But they just came out with a short, like, 70-page novella for, like, what happened in between book 2 and 3. Like, the gap time between book 2 and 3 for the Housemaid series. So I pre-ordered that. That's on pre-order. Because why not? You gotta have, yeah. It was a really good series. I think Sheena needs to read it. Rate Sheena. I would love to talk about in-depth books, but I don't want to give spoilers. This should be a spoiler-free version. Yes, lady of my dreams. Oh, yeah, I'll send it to you. I have all 3 books, actually. See? This is book 1. They're actually making it... Are they making it into a movie or a series? I think they're making it into a series. And they were actually... I can't think. Amanda Seyfried and now I can't remember the other girl's name. Yeah, they're really popular books. I got them. They're psychological suspenses. But it's a really good book. So this one, okay, by the title, you would think that it would pertain to it being the sun, right? It's not. It's not. This was a really good one too. I think all her books are really decent though, so I don't think there's one that we didn't like. The Teacher was kind of like it was good, but it was like underage teacher type deal situation, so and then she had this one. Just a little novella. I think it was like 140 some pages. That part was pretty cringe, Sheena. It was a good book otherwise, if you could get past that part, like that aspect of the book. Because I think that was actually the first one we read of hers, was The Teacher. And we just had to get past that aspect of it. This one was kind of funny. Like, not funny, like haha funny, but it was like the way that it played out. So my mom was a heavy reader, like when I was a kid. You know, all those old school romance novels with the guys with their shirts off and the girls in the dresses, all those types. One of Trev's comic covers actually reminded me of it, and I said something in his live the other day, well, in his chat. But and then I probably really started like reading, like getting into reading around I would say end of middle school. Basically when Harry Potter came out. Around the time, like it was after Harry Potter came out, because there were books already out when I started reading them. But it was when Harry Potter really took off and became a big thing. Which was basically right before they started doing the movies. And that's kind of where it took off from. I probably didn't read a whole lot in high school. And then afterwards, and then I stopped for a while. And then probably over the last 1.5 years, 2 years maybe now, I really got back into reading. And it shows by the 137, 38 books I've read this year. So, in my bookshelves, that just keep piling and piling and piling. They're not organized anymore. Sheena wouldn't like me right now, so we're not going to look at my bookshelves. Sheena would probably be like, what in the world happened to your bookshelves? Just don't judge. I need to redo them because I keep adding books to them. I just need to rearrange them. There's a lot going on over there and over there. Well, that one's not as bad as this one because I've added more like romancy books to it. But this one was pretty funny. She ended up having a husband that she unalived, only to find him alive in her house. And she unalived that one. And then she found, at the end of the book, her husband was singing in the shower. Just to open his wallet and find a picture of triplets, identical triplets. It was a good little like 140-page book read. It really was. And now I can't wait to read this one because I need to read this one. That's our next wheel spin. And then I think I'm gonna do Forcing Fate. Probably Marked by Destiny. Gotta read The Boyfriend. Gonna probably read Frigid. It's just too many books to read. I'm gonna have to read this one to see if I can get into it. And yes, I know I have the books already, but gotta read this one. But I think I'm gonna wait until I see when I'm getting the other ones. I have to read this one. So for sure, I gotta read these ones. Already read those ones. Already read those ones. I gotta read this one. But then I'm like, oh no, I have to reread Lightlark and Nightbane because Skyshade comes out on Tuesday. And I'm supposed to be getting that book because I have it pre-ordered. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I might just listen to Lightlark and Nightbane. It's really Nightbane that I think I have to reread because Lightlark I remember what happens in Nightbane, but it's just like as a refresher course. Or I might just go online and find like Cliff Notes version. Just as a refresher for those books. Put you back over there. Put you guys back up there. So The Bridge Kingdom I might leave for next year's wheels, like wheel spin. But Apples Dipped in Gold, The Boyfriend, Never Lie, Christmas Tree Farm. I might leave Seventh Circle and Anarchy for the wheel spin. Just because we still have books on our wheel spin. And I'm not sure what we're going to get through. I would like to get through the last 12 books before the end of the year, but I don't think that's going to happen. The thing is, we only have like 7 weeks left. But we're going to put... I got to figure out what books we're going to put on the wheel. I need to start getting like a list together. You're on your way home. Like, I might put trying to think of what I can't think of what the name of the series is. The Ravenhood series. Like, I might put that book on there. We have tons of other books. Like, I have. And I know that they'll go through and figure out what books. And then Sheena needs to add some books to it. And I'm not sure what books that you've read that we haven't. And all this other stuff. So, like, I've got time. This past year, I probably won't read as many books this coming year as I did this last year. So, I'm going to try, but realistically, I don't think I am going to hit what I've done this year so far. But we have a ton of books. There's so many books. Like, I'm looking at my bookshelf right now. Oh yeah, like, I was listening to One Dark Window, the rest of One Dark Window yesterday, and I was texting my coworker Laura. I was like, "What?" I'm like, well then, like, yeah, it's not that I don't have the books to do that with. It's just life-wise, like, things that are going on in life that I won't be able to hit that many. I wanted to hit 200 this year, but I am still like 63 books away from that. So unless I hunker down and really read, it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. I want to try to at least get to 150, so that's only like 13 more books or 12 more books. I might be at 138 now, which I could easily do if I actually just read. Because like I said, I've got books right here that I've got to read. Then we still have books on the wheel. We still have 12 books on the wheel. Plus I have books here. I've got books there. I've got books up there. Up there, over there, everywhere. So we have series that we didn't read last time that I actually took off the wheel. That will go back on the wheel for next year. Like, I am probably going to sit here and do up the books that I want to read. Like, I read Say You Swear. I had the second book. All 3 of us read it. That was on our wheel. And I'll probably put the second book on the wheel. only because I know all three of us have read the first one. Because I got the second one. And then whatever books we don't finish off this wheel will get put on next year's wheel. And I might actually start this wheel process before the end of the year. Like, I thought about doing it after this next read. And just being like, okay, let's get some fresh books on here. Along with the ones that we still have left. And doing it that way. Because a lot of our books that are left, I think it's a good mix of what's left. Like, I think we have some thriller books left, some romance books, some fantasy books. But I want to say this year we did a lot more like dark romance books than we did anything else. So I'm just trying to narrow down how I want to do the wheels. Like, I think I want to do like dark romance, fantasy, thriller. But I also want to do like a shifter wheel for like shifter series, because that's like a huge thing too. So it's like all over the place. So it's just really, and I'm not gonna dissect between romantasy and fantasy. They're just gonna go together because that's too much work. Like, okay, it's considered fantasy, it goes on the fantasy wheel. It's considered romance, okay, it goes on the romance wheel. Like, that, we ain't playing that game. It just ain't gonna happen. But I think that's basically how we're gonna do the wheel. And I mean, I have, like, looking just at the bookshelf right in front of me, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Like 11 that I can see just on the romance side. They're back and forth between dark and regular, but that's just what I can see on the front part of my bookshelf. And then you've got the fantasy side of things, and they're really not actually. I've read a lot of my fantasy books, so that's going to be harder, I think, this year. But I have like Night of the Witch, that's now a 2-book series, so we would have 2 books if we wanted to read both of them. We have, what's the other one? The Stars Are Dying, the games gods play. Like, I have all these different books like that could just go on there. But there's some series that we've already started or we've read. Like, I might put Spark of the Everflame on there. Like, so it's gonna be one of those things, and then when everybody else gives their lists, I'm gonna make sure nothing crosses over. So Sheena, be thinking about your list and what you want to put on there, so we can get that rolling. And then there's some on here that I will want to read, and it's going to be one of those things where if I want to read it, I'm going to take it off if it's one that I put on. because there are times where I'm like, okay, I get in a reading slump with one genre and I am absolutely like on a reading streak with another. So it just really depends on how that goes. But I want to get that list started. And now I kind of want to sit here and do the list. But I don't think I have a notebook in here. That drawer's empty. I don't think I have a notebook in here. How do I not have a notebook in here? I'm not really sure how I don't have a notebook. There might be one on the other side. I'm trying to remember where my other notebook went. Y'all are gonna look at the ceiling for a second. Ow. How'd the ceiling look? I'm just kidding. See, now I'm gonna already get started on this list. There it goes. Like, I feel like I just gotta... I feel like I've got to do it. So... some of these I'm not sure what they fall under. But... like, obviously... like, Onyx Storm isn't going on here. Because I'm not... I want to read that one right when it comes out, so that's not going on here. But... ooh, Sheena. You know, we talked about the Lost Boy series. I read this one. I haven't read this one yet. But we were just talking about those ones. There are so many choices, Christina. It's hard. Well, and I can't remember which ones are considered dark and which ones are considered regular, so it's like... and then I'm not really sure what that one is considered. I'm not sure what some of these are considered. I'm like looking at my bookshelf, I'm like, there's just so many. There's like too many to choose from, that's the problem. There's just too many choices. Let's see. That one's on their wheel this year. Read all those. Read those. Haven't read those. Excuse me. Read that one. Haven't read that one. That series we ended up not liking. Need to finish that series. There's too many. Ooh. I have to look at Grimstone and Monarch and see if they're considered dark or if they're considered regular. I know that one's a dark romance one. I just have too many. The thriller romance, like the thriller ones, I'm gonna have to find other authors because I know my coworker Joanna has read a lot of Freed McFadden. And I've read like all of Natasha Preston's except one. So I need to read Anastasia by Sophie Lark, which is like a retelling of like the actual Anastasia from Russia. I gotta see if the Kennedy Ryan books are dark romance or regular. Same thing with the King of Wrath series. There's just too many choices. Way too many choices. So I'm gonna have to sit with my choices for a while. Put these back up real quick. Ew. Go back in there. Thank you. I almost didn't want to go back in. So we're gonna just you can't even see my face anymore. Now you can. So we're almost at an hour and a half, and I think I'm going to stop it here. Thank you all who came out and watched and liked it. Look, put a heart right around the puppy. Only around the puppy. And who listened to me babble on about lots and lots of books. And babble and babble and babble and babble about my books. Ooh. Kevin. See, I'm ending perfect timing then, Kevin. But this is where I leave you guys. Thank you all for stopping by. And have a fantabulous rest of your Friday.